There will be mornings when the weight feels heavier than usual, not on your back, in your chest. Days when you wake up tired for reasons sleep can't fix. Days when effort feels pointless. Days when doubt whispers louder than discipline ever has. This is where most journeys end. Not because people aren't capable, but because they mistake doubt for truth. Doubt is not a signal to stop. It's a signal that you are standing at the edge of growth. Growth never feels safe, that it feels uncertain, uncomfortable, lonely. That's why so few people stay long enough to experience it. You will question yourself, that you'll wonder if this is worth it, that if anyone will ever notice, if you're wasting time chasing something invisible. But understand this. The most important changes in your life will always be invisible at first. In O1 sees your mindset hardening. In O1 sees your standards rising. In O1 sees your tolerance for pain expanding. But it's happening every time you choose discipline over comfort. You are carving a version of yourself that doesn't break easily. And that version matters because life will test you. Not gently, not fairly. Without warning, that it will take people you love, that it will delay your plans, that it will knock you down when you least expect it. And when that moment comes, motivation will not save you. Habits will. The habits you're building right now in silence, the early mornings, the workouts you didn't post, the days you showed up even when nothing felt rewarding, that's what will carry you forward. You are not training just for the body. The body is only the entry point. You're training the mind to stay calm in chaos. Keep moving under pressure. Think clearly when everything feels heavy. That's real strength. Anyone can perform when conditions are perfect. Very few can perform when everything is against them. You are becoming one of the few. Slowly, quietly, relentlessly. There will be moments you feel behind, like others are passing you, like time is slipping away. Stop comparing. Comparison steals focus, and focus is your most valuable weapon. You are not late. You are being prepared. Prepare to handle what others collapse under. Prepare to lead when others hesitate. Prepare to stand alone when necessary. Solitude is not weakness, that it's training. Because before you can stand strong in the world, you must learn to stand strong with yourself, in silence, without distraction, without validation. This is why you keep going when no one is watching. Not to prove anything, but to become someone who doesn't need proof. Someone whose confidence doesn't depend on opinions. Someone whose worth isn't negotiated daily. Someone solid that you'll notice changes before others do. Your reactions slow down. Your emotions stop controlling your decisions. Your patience grows. Things that used to frustrate you no longer have power over you. That's progress. Not loud, not flashy, but permanent. You stop chasing quick wins. You start respecting long games. You stop asking, how fast can I get there? And start asking, how strong do I need to become? That question changes everything. Because speed without stability leads to collapse. Strength builds foundations. And foundations hold when storms arrive. There will be storms, moments when everything you built feels threatened, moments when it would be easier to quit than continue. In those moments, remember, you have already survived pain on purpose. You chose discomfort when comfort was available. You chose effort when excuses were convincing. You chose discipline when no one was watching. This moment is not new, it's familiar. And you know what to do. You breathe, you stand, you move forward. Not because you're fearless, but because fear no longer controls you. That's the real victory. Not absence of fear, mastery over it. You'll never feel ready. Ready is a myth invented by procrastination. You move anyway. You act anyway. Because action creates clarity. Over time, the gap between who you are and who you were closes. You look back and barely recognize the person who used to hesitate. The one who waited for motivation. The one who needed approval. The one who quit when it got hard. That version served a purpose. That it got you here. But it cannot take you further you let it go. Not with anger, with gratitude. And you continue forward lighter, more focused, more dangerous, because now you know something most people never learn. Discipline is freedom. Freedom from excuses. Freedom from regret. Freedom from the chaos of inconsistency. When you control your actions, life stops controlling you. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need permission. You don't need to be seen. You just need to show up again and again and again. Some days will be ugly, messy, uninspiring. Show up anyway. Because consistency doesn't care about mood that it rewards. Commitment. And commitment compounds quietly, day after day, rep after rep, choice after choice, until one day something clicks, not a sudden miracle, not an overnight transformation, just a realization that you're no longer chasing strength. You are strength that you're no longer forcing discipline. You live it, and people will feel it when you enter a room, not because you announce it, but because energy doesn't lie that they'll ask what changed. You won't have a simple answer, because it wasn't one thing that IT was. Everything, every morning you chose effort, every time you didn't quit, every moment you trained when no one was watching. This is the part they never see. The foundation, the quiet suffering, the lonely work, the invisible growth. And that's okay, because this journey was never meant to be crowded. IT was meant to be effective. So keep going. When it's dark, when it's silent, when it feels endless, keep building. Not for applause, not for recognition, but for the moment when life looks at you and asks, "Are you ready?" And you don't answer with words. You answer with who you've become. Calm, prepared, unbreakable. This is how champions are made.
Listen, you're not broken. You're not tired. You're not stuck. You just lack morning discipline, and it's costing you your future. Every single day you wake up and ask yourself, why do I feel tired before the day even starts? Why is my mind already distracted? Why does success feel so far away? And here's the real problem. It's not you, it's your morning habits. Every morning you face two choices, one that builds your future and one that keeps you exactly where you are. So today, I'm going to show you 5 morning habits that can completely change the direction of your life, because when you fix your mornings, your entire life stops fighting you. Let's start with number 1. Wake up at the same time. You don't need to wake up at 4 a.m., but you need to wake up at the same time every single day. This isn't just about mornings. It's about building a foundation of control. When you master your wake-up time, you master yourself. And when you wake up at the same time every day, you're not training the alarm. You're 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 training your mind. And the day you win that control, life stops pushing back. A disciplined morning doesn't just start your day, it defines your future. 2. No phone for the first hour. 90% of people lose their morning right here. The moment you wake up, you reach